Welcome back to the channel. I have exciting news, if you couldn't guess by the title of the video. And I do only have my proof copy, so when you get yours it won't have the banner of awful. I actually published my book. It's about a month earlier than anticipated. I thought editing was gonna take a lot longer, and it did not. Like, we just kind of hunkered down, did that for a few days, and now it is done. So, because I have my goal of trying to publish a lot and getting on track with some of the other authors, that's the thing that some people do. Publishing houses, if you don't know, limit authors for how much they are allowed to publish per year. If you are self-published, you have no such problems, and in fact, you usually publish frequently if you want to make it your job, which is what I'm doing. So, I decided, instead of just like not publishing it for the simple fact of like, well, I was planning next month, but it's ready now, so I'm just gonna wait. No, I'm just gonna publish it and scooch my next project up into its place. So instead of publishing like potentially like 10 books this year, I'm publishing closer to possibly 11. Ish, if I can keep up with it. We're trying. But there are authors that do it every single month, and I just gotta make sure I don't hit burnout in that process. But yeah, so my book is now available. If you don't know, I wrote another witchcraft book. This is my witchcraft training book. So it's called Path of a Witch, First Year Approach to Learning Witchcraft by my pen name, Raven Wells. Because pen names are fun, if you don't know. Most authors never use their legal names for like, duh. So, Raven Wells. It's a magical name that I hand selected for a lot of different reasons, and I feel like it's pretty appropriate for my life. So, this book is now available. It is available in hardback, paperback, and ebook, and hopefully ebook doesn't suck. I went through all of the work of getting like 3/4 of the way through editing it just to realize one of my previous demons has returned. So this is a random side story, but otherwise this video will be really short. So we're just gonna go on all the tangents today. But I had used, at one point, years ago, I had worked at a software company and I was the content creator. So I was in charge of making like a bunch of courses and was in charge of editing the videos and putting them together and like writing all of the things. And one of the things that was my nemesis was that depending on what device you used, depended on the formatting. And of course, the dude that I worked for was a bit of a slimy cheesecake, so he just didn't pay for it to get done properly by the developer team. And so the problem is, I guess you needed it to be like a canvas type or something. That basically means it would change the size depending on the device, but it would reformat it itself. It's a thing. Most companies do that, but he was cheap and wouldn't do it. And so every time he would get mad because it wouldn't work when he would change devices, and I'm like, yeah, me and my manager have told you about this. It was a fun time. So anyways, back to the ebook. I got like 3/4 of the way through, and then I looked, and you can change device, and you can change font size, and then it just fucks up everything. So I tried, but just be aware, if it's a little whack, I don't do ebooks. And apparently it just depends on your device and how you have your settings. So that was a fun thing to learn, that I'm like, great, because I make a decent amount. Like, I would say 50% of my sales are ebook, and I'm like, I learned this now at my 6th book. This is so great. That's the choice of coming along for a small-time author. You get to learn all of the things with me. So if it sucks, I am so sorry. I am trying, but also to get it like professionally done is like way outside my budget. So we DIY it and figure it out. So yeah, that really ruined my day for a minute there, because I was like, I just spent so many hours on something that doesn't even matter. That's great. That's so great. So I hope it works. But yeah, so anyways, you can get it in the Evil ebook edition if you love ebooks. I'm sorry. They're just the bane of my existence now. And then you can also get the paperback, which is gonna look similar to this, just without the banner of awful, because they have to put that. They used to not. I've told the story before. Ooh, I can actually show you, because I brought my books in here. So this was my first book I ever wrote, ever. Lovely little pamphlet book. Never again a pamphlet book. And one of the things, oh, I don't have it. It's not gonna be in here, duh. I don't have the the proof copy of it. It's the actual copy. But on this back page, it would just say proof. and that was it. And then it didn't mess up your thing, and you could use this for your marketing stuff and be like, ah, look at the pretty, isn't it great? But now you can't do that because you got the banner of awful. See, I also still have it for my other book. I haven't bought my other book yet, but yeah, this, the one that took forever, they both have the banner of awful. So just when you see these on all of the books, that's why. So you can get it in a paperback or a hardback. Both are available, and those have been formatted correctly because I know, because I have seen it in physical editions, and it doesn't change based off of what you're using to look at it. So yeah, it is now available. This is my training book. If I were to train you how to be a witch, this is what I would teach you. It's mostly emphasizing like the basics. So this goes through the elements, your tools, the basics, you know, learn how to meditate, start your affirmation practice, start your gratitude practice, you know, just kind of the usual beginning things. Like they might be a little boring to start off with, but like, I don't know, it picks up a bit. Like you dabble a little into like kitchen witchery, and you learn about some crystals and essential oils, and you get your tools, and you figure out how to cast a circle with and without them. Like there's just a little bit starting with deities, things like that. So it's got a little bit of everything in there, but it also doesn't have every single thing ever, because otherwise it would be like the size of It by Stephen King. And honestly, I feel like most people get intimidated if your witchcraft books are too big, because they're just massive. So I didn't want that, but also at the same time, like it needed to have some stuff. So like, this is my ideal book size, because this is about 400 pages. It's like 397 or something. So it's pretty close to 400 pages. And I feel like it's a decent amount of a size of a book. Am I doing good on marketing for it? No, because I mean, technically, if you bought it now and you kind of sped through the first few sections, you could probably catch up. But ideally, you're supposed to start it in January, go through a year, because the next books are going to follow in a similar fashion, because things. So, like, I hate when you're going through, like, the training books and they're like, ah, yes, celebrate Samhain right now in February. And you're like, it's so not the season. Like at all, actually. And so I want to make sure that you're actually getting the things like in sort of the right times, because when you need to start like buying certain things, I planned it for when stores will start to actually have these items out. Because like, you know, it's easy to go and find like pentacle things and like ritual robes around like Halloween time. And so you can kind of start to get ideas of like, ooh, go to the store, get the thing, get the cup that is a cauldron. Like you can have options if you follow along. But like technically this one you don't have to. The next book you will have to, because the next book is going through the Wheel of the Year. So like you gotta go in order. And then from there, then that's gonna be the really hard book that comes out in the autumn of this year. And that is going to be the Moon book. That's book 3. And that one also, you're gonna need to go in order, because like that matters. So yeah, we're getting there. There's a lot of stuff, but yeah, book 1 is now available. If you wanted to get it, I would love it. I would love for you to tell me that you got it and send me pictures on Instagram, because it makes my day to just see people being like, hey, I bought your book. It's a fun time. That's what authors live for, really. So yeah, if you want to check out my book, it is now available. And the next one I'm planning for a June release. And then third book, I'm thinking like maybe September-ish. So we're gonna have some books in between, obviously, because I'm planning to publish so much, but those are gonna be my fiction books. And then my witchcraft books, I'm doing just probably the 3 this year. I had plans for more, but I kind of feel like just spacing these out a little bit. So June, I think, is gonna be the next one. So you have a few months if you want to get this one before the next one comes out. But again, it also starts in January. So marketing, I'm great at that. So good. So anyways, I would love if you bought my book. And it is available on my blog. It is linked down below. It has its own little subheading, and then you just click on it, and then it takes you to the page that I painstakingly added all of the links to. And yeah, you can find them there. And you can also just search it on Amazon. So anyways, until next time, thank you so much for following along for this chaos, and I will see you all tomorrow for a new video. Thank you so much for watching. Huge thank you to my patrons. The audiobook will be coming out to you guys next week, so keep an eye out for that. I'm planning, just like last time, Thursdays. So starting on Thursday, there's gonna be a section a week, so all the way up until pretty much when the new one comes out. So keep an eye out for that. And of course, until next time, thank you so much for watching, and blessed be.